want to say thank you to everybody who decided to watch this video. I want to send a special shout out to my patrons and Twitch subscribers. You guys help me make this channel better. And I want to say, enjoy the show.
Now, did Democrats sell out labor and take corporate contributions? Absolutely. So your answer to a revanchist far right that's doing even more than any previous administration on labor is to go back into history and bitch about Democrats fucking up on that issue. What we on the actual left who care about actually achieving things are doing is fighting all of these fronts simultaneously. But actually, in fact, focusing now on the main threat. I said if you were in a swing state, vote for Hillary because I wanted to keep the main threat and the main problem be those fucking neoliberals and corporatists that we do have to defeat, not galloping fascists. But you know what? It's a good business model. Outrage is a good business model.
What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? It is Sunday, the Sunday before the holiday. How's everybody doing today? I am just here enjoying the freaking weather. And yeah, just making sure that I bring you guys something fun on today. So how's everybody doing? I'm trying to do one thing. I don't know if y'all know this or not, but I have a merch store. Yay! 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 I have a merch store. I have a merch store. Hey, let me just close this. Which is actually fun. Yeah, it looks like everything is going like it's supposed to. Alright. So, let me just come out of there. How's everybody doing today? You know what? I will say this. And come here. Stop. Fix the camera. I have been very, very thankful of, the people who have been subscribing to the channel lately. It has been somewhat fortuitous that I've been getting a lot of people actually subscribing, enjoying, and just overall just making sure that oh, that's just too much. Just making sure that you guys can actually enjoy the channel. So, what am I doing today? Currently, right now, I'm smoking a ham. Yeah, I am smoking a motherfucking ham. And it's actually been pretty cool. I would say that I'm gonna actually enjoy it probably for the next couple of days. Other than that, hopefully I can get a spot in Anime Midwest. And what I say by that is this. I missed the sign up. And generally speaking, if you miss the sign up, then you're screwed. But if you go there like Thursday night, maybe Friday, you can actually see if they have any open spots where you can actually be one of those people that can actually I guess fucking get into the convention. It costs you more money, but you can at least still get into the convention. And so that's what I'm gonna actually do. But as that being said, you guys are here to watch some motherfucking videos. And so I am very, 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 very thankful for you guys watching, subscribing, supporting, And you guys know, when it comes down to it, I always have a message to say, I always have a point to get across. And quite frankly, this is gonna be one of those difficult ones, guys. This is gonna be one of those difficult ones. So allow me enough, enough gratitude, enough patience, hell, enough rope to actually hang myself if you disagree with my videos. Especially for today, because this is gonna be one of those days where it's just gonna be hard. It is gonna be hard. And I'm just gonna tell you guys now, I don't like doing videos like this. Um, but I'm gonna start doing videos like this. And just to address it, because, well, quite frankly, some things need to be addressed. And we're gonna start with this video. All right. So everybody knows here. Let me just bring it up in Discord, because this is one of those things where, um, not that I personally know the guy, but we talk back and forth because, you know, I saw him on a stream recently where I had recently saw him on the stream where he was talking with Vosh. And if you don't know what this actual point was, this particular point actually stated, this is actually just a problem. So here's the tweet. Let's go. Now, I talked about this in a private Discord a while back, but I'll say it here too. And this is Rico Rants. If a white person made a video calling out a black person on something while referring to them as codes, every one of these black folks, many black progressive and many white ones, would call them racist. This is a problem. Now, mind you, this idiot went back and redid the picture, and everyone's like, well, that's not what the picture is. Like, no, this was the picture is. And oddly enough, our man Shark, when he covered the allegations against them, actually said this.
Now, I just don't get how he's getting the idea that I critiqued his video. In my video, I literally just said that I think that I want more black people to be in the space, and I want more black people to do things that I'm doing as well. And
mind you, this is a message that I actually feel, even if I disagree with them politically, but let's go.
I think that these people make good content. I just think that we get pigeonholed into talking about black issues when we don't necessarily always want to. And people compartmentalize normal creators and learning creators, and they just take a detour at, like I said, Negro land to go hear what like black people, women, trans people, minorities, all these types of people want to say, gay people, queer people, you know, anything along these lines. They stop by to see what we have to say, but we're not the destination. We're just here to be the black voice, so they can say that, oh, I have like a black creator who does black things and I listen to them, and they're my learning creators, not my fun creators, not my normal creators. They're not in the normal community. They're different. They're otherized. They're not just a creator. They're an insert identity creator. That's what I was saying in the video, I guess.
So this makes a good point. And keep that in mind. Keep that in mind while we talk about this ignorant fool.
Hasanabi reacting to an FD video will be on your home feed, but FD's video will not be on your home feed. Why? Why? Because Hasanabi is familiar to you. Not only because, like, literally he's bigger, but because Hasanabi ski colored.
This motherfucker says, somebody who's been on the internet for more than a decade now is popular because his skin color, even though he's Turkish, but he's white, but he's Turkish, but he's white, but he's Turkish. These people in cornbread tube, all they see is race. I swear to God, and this is just the intro. It gets worse. Now, another reason, we'll get to that. I watched this video and I just had to react. But let's go.
It's a foreign man in a foreign land.
And you are seeking to expel District 86's representation from this house in a country that was built on a protest.
Now, what does this have to do with anything about the point about if somebody is black, they get hurt? This is quite literally has nothing to do with. And what is he doing? He's watching, responding to somebody else's content. Yes, this is from the leftist mafia that he's responding to. But let's go.
In a country that was built on a protest.
And he's trying to look smug for no reason why. I guess I'm hiding him. Let's go.
You who celebrate July 4th, 1776, pop fireworks and eat hot dogs. You say to protest is wrong because you spoke out of turn, because you spoke up for people who are marginalized. You spoke up for children who won't ever be able to speak again. You spoke up for parents who don't want to live in fear. You spoke up for Larry Thorne, who was murdered by gun violence. You spoke up for people that we don't want to.
Are you just going to say something or are you just going to watch the content? Oh, no, he was on there. I correct myself. He was on it.
Care about.
So, yeah.
In a country built on people who speak out of turn, who spoke out of turn, who fought out of turn.
Wait. I'm sorry. Wait.
I come from a long line.
Wait. Is he watching a video that he was watching with them? He's watching a video where he was actually in the video. Okay. Let's go.
People who have resisted.
When we look back at what happened with Justin, well, both Justins in this case, let's not forget that anytime, like when you see political talent like Justin's, excellent oration like Justin's,
Oh, so he plays up the accent.
how he's speaking the truth and speaking to power, these people are obviously and historically suppressed. They're always co-opted. They're always attacked. And sometimes even worse. Let's not forget that any black movement, big black leaders, especially those that are progressive, have always been co-opted or taken up. I mean, even like Bob Marley, a person with a guitar making...
It's funny that he says this shit, right? But when you see the black movements that starts to do this whole separatist shit or just listen to black people shit, like, you know, Black Hammer or some of the iteration of the Black Panthers after Fred Hampton died, you see when they start just focusing on black issues instead of building a bridge against the people, not against, but with people that may be in the same socioeconomic classes, but they say, no, we're just going to stick with black people. They kind of get marginalized. They kind of get pushed to the sides. But let's go.
Extremely provocative songs and progressive songs. He was very much destabilized. Like, government entities try to prevent uprisings in these cases. Uprisings, by that meaning revolutions for progressive thought. Fred Hampton is an excellent example. Herschel Walker and them, those people will very much be fine. They will be upheld. In fact, they will be used as puppets to bolster particular arguments by the racist right. Like, the left has like a messaging problem. We don't package our ideas in ways that catchy or really show like the value up front. We don't lead.
No, you don't. Because what you do, especially people like you try to criticize other leftists because they said something that offended you and you want to make it something different. Now, this isn't a defense of insert your favorite political streamer here. This is a critique of how so many of these other people, the first thing they go to, first thing the cornbread tube, and I can actually, just go through the montage. Oh, this white creator here, this white, like literally, this was this man's response. And we're gonna come back to this video. This was this man's response about Rico talking about him. This is what's his response. Where is it at? Let me go back to Discord because it's here in Discord. Let's go. This was this man's response.
Let's see what's going on the Muskian hellscape known as Twitter. Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Now, mind you, he pulled up the whole thing. The whole thing that I read to you guys. The whole thing that I read to you guys. Rico Rents or Derico L. Baker, his name on Twitter. Now, our favorite races on the channel, FD Signifier. And yeah. So the chalks are talking about voodoo. Now, mind you, this whole thing is right here. Mind you, this whole thing is right here. But this is his response.
Damn, son, where'd you find this? Raccoon rants?
Had to throw in that raccoon joke, huh? And look, this is why I don't jive with many of the non-white creators. They're not held to the same standards as their white counterparts. It's why their content is filled with casually demeaning people in ways white people couldn't vaguely do. This actually brings this up. But he had to throw in the raccoon joke, right? Right?
All right, Mr. One of
The trash panda joke, he had to throw that in.
the good ones. You're lucky I ain't in the mood.
Wait. What did he call him? What did he call him?
Mr. One of the good ones.
Wait.
All right, Mr. One of the good ones.
Mr. One of the good ones. Damn, throwing around those racial terms.
You're lucky I ain't in the mood for no black on black crime, right? I normally don't do this, however. But go on ahead, break him off with a real preview of the remix.
Wash bad, oh very, very bad. Wash.
Now, instead of addressing his points, he started making videos targeting flashing Catholics.
It's a big tune, eh?
Very, very
Turn this shit up. Turn this shit up.
Just say Nick. The LGBT community is cancerous as fuck.
Wow. Doing the old racist clips. Mind you, that's somebody who every stream jokes about how he likes to suck horse cock, or it's a joke about a horse cock. But yeah, he's being problematic.
These people are less than human to me.
Oh, look. Yeah, that's how he responded. That's how this man responded to accurate criticism about some of the racist shit that these people put out. But let's go back to the video. Let's go.
Lead with the value, we kind of bury the lead in these cases. The right is extremely good at messaging. Like when you think of like Rush Limbaugh in his prime, like he was in his bag with his bigotry. That dude like knew what he was doing as far as packaging rhetoric. They know how to do it. They're extremely good.
And you're just doing it accidentally. You're just doing your bigotry accidentally. But you're not doing it accidentally. You know what type of audience that you're cultivating. But let's go.
When it comes to us, we're extremely reactionary. These are the criticisms that we need in order to get good. I'm not dogging the right, even though, you know, the Dems don't do much. Like that's kind of where me and the right agrees. Don't clip.
What are you doing yourself besides making videos, racist ass comments, and just being an asshole? What are you doing yourself?
Trip that. When it pertains to like how we do our messaging, how we do our activism, that is our problem. We're extremely reactionary. How many Ben Shapiro videos, how many Peterson videos are we gonna make? We're reacting to culture. We're not making culture. We haven't even gotten, that's the culture war argument. We haven't even gotten to economic policies, healthcare, all of these different things, human rights. We're just still on culture war issues. Like,
You're right. We are still on cultural issues, and most of the issues, most of the videos that you and your ilk makes are talking about how this white person hurt your feelings, not how they were being racist. No, you don't even want to talk about that shit. You want to talk about videos taken out of context, but you want to talk about how one time this woman says, "I like noodles," and she was being racist. That's the shit that you're talking about. At least live streamers actually talk about the issues when they happen. But you guys are too good for that shit. Remember your buddy FD said that y'all are like the generals sitting back in the towers, but the live streamers are the warriors in the field? Because you guys think you're too good for the shit. You think, oh, wait, no. I don't need to talk about Ben Shapiro. I don't need to talk about Jordan Peterson. We don't need to really talk about that because that's just culture war stuff. You are preaching to an audience that you already have converted. And then you play like you're making some big take when all you do is throw around racist fucking... your boy Turb, my comment section, I literally have, why is he speed running every word that you hear for white people on Twitter? The fact that you call the chalks are doing voodoo? How fucking dare you? You know what struck me about how some of these people claim about cultural appropriation? If you want to go back to voodoo or the gods that you actually see, some of them are African gods, yes, but some of them are Sumerian or Egyptian. Some of them have been co-opted from other cultures. Are you stealing at that point too? But no, these motherfuckers will never say that shit. But let's continue.
when we're dealing with people like Matt Walsh, Ben Shapiro, Jordan Peterson, and we will talk them to death. That's the problem. We're always on the back foot. Exactly, Hero. We need to get in front of these things, and that's the reason why it's so important that, like, my last video that I did with NJB, with Not Just Bikes, basically talking about something as niche as traffic and how systemic racism is built into the infrastructure of past colonial countries like the Bahamas.
And see, this is the reason why I brought up that shark clip early in this segment. Because you want to function as, hey, listen to me. I'm that black creator. You want to, not because like you have a history of living in this situation. Just like here, I live in Chicago. We literally have a fucking expressway going through the south side. Places in the west side that have expressway going through them. And it has been known to fuck up our traffic, to affect all these different things. And in places where people have been redlined. But you don't want to do it because you're not doing it because you have a historical context. You're doing it because, well, I'm a black person. You better listen to a black person. I don't want you to listen to me, come to me because I'm black. I want you to listen to me, come to my content because I'm right. But your identity is tied up into what you had no choice in being, what you were born as. But let's go.
That is a niche topic. Like, I'm talking about these little islands, these little 700 islands. That's not a Ben Shapiro video. You're not gonna get that. You're not gonna get that anywhere else in BreadTube. You're not gonna get that anywhere else across YouTube. Which is to say that, like, Cornbread Tube is a space. You know, people like me, people like FD Signifier, Andrewism, Hero the Kid is inside here, Julian Steve. All of these people are speaking to a particular experience. Turb, they are speaking to an experience that a lot of white leftists and a lot of white people on the left don't even know that they have an appetite for. That's so exciting. Let's think about that for a second. It's so exciting to know that there's a branch of content that's going to be coming out once we get the algorithmic support, which is, yet again, unfortunately, you're the algorithm.
So here's the thing. I get it. I get black creatives have been suppressed. And as I said before, I want more black people in the space of YouTube. There have been multiple times where I've actually just given people a camera that I'm not using, mics that I'm not using, to say, hey, create your content, do this content, let your voice be heard. No matter if I believe your political views or not, I want your voice heard. The shit where I get into it with a lot of these other creators, I don't have a problem with them saying what they need to say. I have a problem with them being wrong, and I will critique that. That's why I'm not for canceling people unless they advocate violence. But that's a legal thing. But when you come down to it and just, it is a reason why motherfuckers don't like hearing shit that these people put out. Because they're openly saying racist shit. And their audience of black people who wants to use those racist terms because they figure, and here's well, when I use a racist term, it's not as bad as when a white person uses a racist term. All I hear is saying, I want to do it because they did it to me. All I hear is revenge, revenge, revenge. They did it to me, so I get to do it to them. That's not a good reason to say that shit. That is not a good reason to be a shit person to somebody else that may not have did it to you. But let's continue.
We get the algorithmic support, as in the people that are watching are actually clicking on videos.
Oh yeah, and another group who watches their content are literally self-hating white people. And I don't mean that as some kind of, no, it's that I'm sorry for being white. I don't want anybody in my community who is sorry for the way that they were born. I'm sorry, that seems a little weird for me. If I'm not going to be sorry for the way I was born, I don't want you to be sorry for the way you were born. But these motherfuckers surround themselves by people who are sorry for the way that they were born. I'm sorry. These are some of the same people that would have been okay with, Nancy Pelosi and the rest of the congressional Dems kneeling with Kente Coughlin. During the George Floyd protests, washing black people's feet for no reason. Or what did we do? That Channel 5 video where people were talking about where the guy was going around and was like, well, because I'm black, give me $5. Those are the target audience for these motherfuckers. And I hate it. Because what they're doing is they're trying to flex on something that they had no choice on. Instead of reaching out to people, they're sounding like fucking idiots. But let's go.
Videos that aren't Shapiro, that aren't Peterson, and clicking on stuff that is esoteric to their culture. Like, y'all are interested in learning about black culture, the black diaspora, not just the type that you want to hear about the black conservatives. Because I mean, FD will even say that that's a slam dunk because that people can click on that.
You know what? The thing about it is they can't fight what they say. They can't. They can only fight that, this person said some racist shit. They can't address some of the points, the reason why we'd be bad. They just said something racist. Something will be, instead of giving an alternative plan, these motherfuckers just say, they're racist, they're sexist, they're homophobic. That's it. It needs to be more. It needs to, hey, instead of thinking that Praxis is watching the video, no, Praxis is me inspiring you to do shit, to first at least get out and vote and then do other shit. But they don't want to face that. You know what they want to face? well, we need to get in the algorithm so we can make the money. I don't care about getting the algorithm to make the money. And yes, I would love to make a fucking living off of this. But to the point where it's just like, I start shitting on people, a group of people, just so I can make other people feel good. Nah, I'm going to do my own thing.
The white folks love to hear about black conservatism. They love to hear that it's not just a white people problem. They love to see that type of thing. But when FD makes a video on Cop City, look how many views that have. Rather than something like the black conservative. This got 310K in 2 days.
So let's bring up another point. Where is it at? Let's bring up another point. Let me find it. I remember watching this person's video, and you guys will understand why in a moment. All right, so here, you guys remember this shit? I'm gonna play this clip.
That'd mean a lot of people learning about a lot of good stuff. He's got one video that's 18 minutes of him covering the Staten Island warehouse machine. What's hilarious about this, and the reason that I'm bringing this up, is because this is exactly where Xander Hall sits nowadays. Albeit slightly to the left of Destiny, he does argue in support of trans rights and Black Lives Matter. In a follow-up to this video in the much longer How I Fell Down the Alt-Right Pipeline and Escaped, he immediately alt-right views. He simply saw an example of right-wing views being torn to shreds in the form of Destiny debating a white supremacist. The major difference between this and other forms of de-radicalization is that it simply made him not a Nazi. My union video and activism content performs terribly. But
Wait. Let me just go back.
One of the most important things to happen over the last year for a lot of leftists is the wave of unionization that's happened across the US and the world. If Xander Hall was covering a lot of this, that'd mean a lot of people learning about a lot of good stuff. He's got one video that's 18 minutes of him covering the Staten Island warehouse unionization, but it's got woefully low views. Hell, I know the feels on that one. My union video and activism content performs terribly. But let's talk about his Joe Biden support. It's so interesting that in this video, quote,
when you look at it, it seems to be a problem on the left as a whole, that drama videos actually do worse than content videos that are talking about progressive policies. Example. Let's go ahead and do this. Here, watch this. I do a lot of fucking drama videos. Let's bring up my channel. Ooh, look. Go to videos. In here. Now, of course, I have woefully low video, but when I talk about the Manosphere videos, 70, Blackfield chat, 117. talk about America sucks. 109. But when I talk about how we need to, address, the way corporates look, 11. And this is today. So let's see if we have any other videos where we're just talking about, I don't know, things that are not drama related. Here, the fake science videos. 24 versus one that came out the same day. Double that. It seems that a lot of people just like drama. That's a thing that happens. What is another one? Okay, the Britney was really good. England has changed after, this is just going over historical thing. England changed after one mass shooting. Bernie Sanders pushes for big changes. But when we talk about other stuff, other drama content, or other confrontational content, it gets more views. But let's go.
Help stop Atlanta's Cop City. Actual praxis. How many views that get? In 2 months. 2 days? 310,000 views. 2 months. Help stop Atlanta's Cop City. 122K. And the reason for that is, it's the audience. The audience is interested in a particular thing. They're primed and conditioned. It's not your fault, but we are the children of the media, and the media is the children of us. We create what we want to see. So if
you know that, dumbass, if you know that, why are you complaining about it? You knew that before you brought that example up. I knew that before you brought the example up. Anybody can tell you that. Anybody on the left can tell you that that's how that content works.
If you want different content, if you don't want to be watching Ben Shapiro, Jordan Peterson, all of these nuts like that, if you don't want to see that, then begin to click on things and incentivize things that are different. How long it take you to go and find my channel after FD feature me? How long it take you to find Allure Nadia's channel after I feature Align Me? Term, Lil Billiam. How long does it take your algorithm to actually see that? To actually feed you responses that are different from Drugan, Hasanabi. Hasanabi reacting to an FD video will be on your home feed, but FD's video will not be on your home feed.
We're really gonna do this. We're really gonna do this. I said I'd save it for later. Well, now it's later. Hassan has been on the internet for longer than you motherfuckers. Secondly, he has like 20 clip channels. If I don't get why you don't understand that. Literally, there are 20 clip channels, like, well, maybe 10 clip channels with Hassan on it. There are like 10 clip channels with fucking Destinies. At least 5 with Vash. Why don't you get that? That's why they're in the algorithm. It's just like Andrew Tate. There are clip channels after clip channels with Andrew Tate. That's why they're in the algorithm. It's not just one channel. Oh my God, they're fucking dumb. Let's continue.
Why? Why? Because Hasanabi is familiar to you. Not only because, like, literally he's bigger, but because Hasanabi ski colored. And then, you know, bigger.
Yes, we know the traditional Anglo-Saxon name of Hassan. You know, the person who always talk about being white, but when, you know, Adam something called him out for not really understanding European politics, especially Balkan European politics. I'm not white enough for you. And so I must be a Turk, a Middle Eastern. Yes, that Hasanabi. Let's go.
Hassan, but like he's ski colored. So yeah, on a visceral level, you are able to click on someone that is more familiar to you because it brings comfort. Familiarity brings comfort.
See, I don't know about you, dog. I don't know about you. Personally, it doesn't matter what their skin color is. I actually watched Dixon White. And if you don't know who Dixon White is, trust me, you're going to understand who Dixon White is. My problem with so many of you guys, you fall into the same traps that you fall into the same traps that so many of these other people fall under, but you criticize them for. You try to stick with your own. Remember your boy FD keeps saying a flying milk. I wonder what he means by that.
But when you click on Lil Billiam talking about the left has a whiteness problem, the reason why that ain't at 1 million views as it should be is
because he's talking about how a part of the left, he's alienating a part of the left. That's why. And again, you're alienating a part of a group that you want to have outreach to. But that's not a problem, right? That's not a problem. Neither is this being a problem. Neither is this being a problem. The chalks are doing voodoo. Because it's okay. It's okay. Because, anti-black racism is so much worse than anti-white racism, and you should just put up with it because reasons. Yeah. And I wonder why he changed the title. I wonder why he changed the title. That's interesting that he actually changed it. But let's go.
The black boiled head man in front of the thumbnail. That's the reason why FD took down his pictures in his thumbnail. Because he wasn't getting the clicks that his contemporaries were getting and doing far less work. Sorry I'm being prosaic and trite, but if you want to change, be the change you want to see. If you want your algorithmic to look differently, then
it's ironic that he would actually say this. And I'm not gonna. If you want to be the change, be the change that you want to see. If you don't want people using racist terms, jargon, or derogatory language, then fucking stop doing it. Stop using it. God, I don't know how many times you have to tell these people, you doing the shit that other people are doing. Well, it's not the same because it doesn't have 400 years. But the way you talk, the way you motherfuckers talk, you would change that in a fucking minute to make sure that people understand your pain. I'm done. Fucking done. Because it's fucking stupid. But hey, like, share, and subscribe. I know these motherfuckers won't listen because they got a good racket going. They have a good fucking racket going. I, on the other hand, is trying to get 1,000 subscribers by October 1st. Help me out, subscribe, like, and all that other good shit. And we're gonna cut this video segment here. You know what? I'm a motherfucking roll. I'm on a motherfucking roll. Now, this is gonna be, I warned you guys. I warned you that this is gonna be one of those hard videos, one of those hard streams to watch. But we're gonna go do it. We're gonna do it today. We're gonna do it today because I want to actually make sure we address some shits. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure we address them. So let's roll into this next video. All right, so I do want to say this before we start. I'm an old man, and sometimes I like watching old man shit. Sometimes. So when it comes to old man shit, I watch a channel called Double Toasted. Now, Double Toasted isn't exactly as progressive as a lot of people on the left would like it to be, but it is to a point that some super leftists would write them off, but some of the shit that they say is just like, well, we just want to treat people with fucking kindness. And Corey, who, been doing movie reviews for like ever, He's a little bit older, but he had some interesting point about a recent movie review, and this is a response to the response that he was getting from a movie review. Let's check this shit out, shall we?
How people been getting away with this for so long, these networks and these entertainment getting it for so long. Hey, you guys are saying to each other, we're not saying it, you guys are. So, hey, it's okay. You know what I mean? If we took some sort of pride in ourselves and understand that this N-word was used we weren't even seen as humans. That word describes us in such a bad effing way. Why would you want to take that and try to turn this shit around?
Yeah. So, yes, this is a discussion about the N-word. Yeah. Oh boy, buckle the fuck up because it's going to be interesting.
And why would you want to take that and turn it? Why would you want to try and do that? Granted, put that word in the museum. Let's go look at that word and understand it and break the shit down. Why do we have to continue to call ourselves that?
They have,
you know what I mean?
yeah, they have trained us to normalize and accept ignorance.
Right.
And I'm gonna tell you something. The world of all classes, shapes, sizes, genders, everybody, everywhere in this world, no matter who you are, the world is mostly ignorant. And if you notice something about ignorant people don't want to change.
That's
right. And for a long time, we have embraced our ignorance, and we thought it was something to be proud of.
Wow. Ignorant people don't want to change. Shit. God damn it. Let's go.
Boy, black people make me mad sometimes. They really do. Black people piss me off, man.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, it happens sometimes, man. I'm not gonna get into it, but I'm
all right, let them cook. Let them cook. I know this sounds weird, but let them cook. Let them cook.
I made one statement in our review for the blackening. I made one statement, no judgment. It was quick. Right. It wasn't even said with anger or anything. It was just a preference that I said. And I like the movie, The Blackening. I like it. I thought it was funny. I thought it was very funny. Review. Yeah, I gave it a matinee. I thought it was a very funny movie, man. But I said that there were some problems with it. I said there was some problems with the pacing near the end of it. And I said, you know, just for me, dialogue-wise, I said they say the N-word a lot. And I've never been a fan. I've said this for years. I said,
So, he has criticism about people who use the N-word as a crutch. Let's see where he's going.
Listen, I got nothing about using the word every now and then, but I told you, when I hear people dropping it a lot, it becomes a crutch word. Yes. It becomes lazy to me.
Yes.
And and it just doesn't, it's not an old person thing or anything like that. It just doesn't sound good to me. It's like when somebody says, first of all, the word is problematic anyway. We know that. Let's not pretend. All right. It's a very problematic word, but I'm not judging people saying it. I ain't putting Bill Cosby on y'all. I didn't get no speeches. I didn't look down on anybody. I wasn't judging anyone. So I just said it has the N-word there a lot for me. It's something that just wasn't for me.
You said the same thing about Django and Shane.
Yeah.
Exactly the same thing about Django.
So I agree. I've said the same thing about the Boondocks, and I love the Boondocks. Yeah. But some people, this is what pisses me off about black people, man. And I'm not getting.
He cooking. Let's go.
And I ain't going off on black people. I ain't pulling no Cosby. But goddamn, man, anytime somebody says like, I don't like this one little thing about the culture, or better yet, because when I said this at the beginning of our review. I said whenever we talk about blackness, a lot of times it's not positive. A lot of times when you talk about blackness as referring to each other in our blackness, it becomes Black Olympics. It's us comparing who's the better black.
Black Olympics.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And here's one of the biggest things. This is one of the reasons why I have such an issue with the Cornbread 2 people. Because they try to do that. They try to do it with Shark. They try to do that with so many other people who don't agree with them. Oh, you're like, what did fucking Foreign say? Oh, excuse me, Mr. One of the good ones. Like, yes, this is the shit that a lot of people actually, if you don't completely toe the fucking line of what somebody think you should toe, not the racist shit, not the shit that like you hear from Candace Owens or Thomas Stowell or fucking Eric July. No, it's just like, hey, I don't think you should be doing just this. Then here come the fucking Trash Panda comments.
Yeah, who's the blackest?
It becomes the better because you ain't black enough because you do this. You ain't black enough because you do that. It's either people want to stay ignorant, or people want to be bougie, or people think they better than somebody, or you ain't real enough. You know, and man, I'm sick of this shit with black people because we always judging each other based on little things. And what pisses me off more, whenever one person came in and said something real stupid, I wish I could. There's some people I'll let comments get to me, but this is the. I wish I can get his face and point my finger on his forehead and say that shit again. Because he would say, because this is what's stupid about it, man. He said that Corey would what is it? What did he say?
You can't remember now. He gets so angry you forgot. I don't know what the hell he said. I'm sorry.
It was something about I won't say I'm gonna paraphrase this, but it was like, it was something like black empowerment politics. Because I was saying how, there's certain images that Hollywood has of black people that I probably wouldn't make a movie for, but I appreciate. I don't have any judgment on other people.
And so, if you haven't watched Corey's videos, I can understand why, especially in my audience where we tend to be a little bit more on the left, where, quite frankly, you get people who are. With some people would derogatorily say, "Oh, they're centrist," and it's just like, and so these are the type of people that we need on our side. We need people who may not have all of our beliefs, but lean towards what we want, and their goals match up. But the thing about it is, no, it's not even respectability politics. It's can we agree on this shit? Can we take the win? But it's not even because you'll catch him talking about, why do we always have to have these struggle movies? 12 Years a Slave, Hidden Figures, no, I get we need those movies, but you don't always have to have a struggle movie, which is actually true. But let's go.
Do taking pride in yourself all of a sudden is getting into black pride or black empowerment politics, and then it was called a coon for just wanting to see people do better.
Wait, what?
If I'm acting coonish, if I'm sitting up here shucking and jiving and I'm like, hey, show my black ass, yowza, mammy, y'all, if I'm doing all that, then if I was talking, what you say, I was putting them S's on everything.
S's on everything.
If I'm doing that, then okay, I'm Tom Coonery. Okay, fine. But if I'm sitting up here talking about just us trying to be intelligent, a little smarter, carry ourselves better, all of a sudden, you ain't real, you anywhere from you ain't real to you white to you a coon, man, what? Y'all need to stop that shit. Just stop it. Whenever we try to do better, man, whenever we just try to take pride in ourselves, it's not the white people a lot of times. They are. It's all the time, there are. Okay. But there's always black people sitting up here saying, you can't do this and you can't do that, and making you feel bad for doing things that ain't hurting anybody.
I need to ask, how do you know the person that left the comment was black?
Because I could tell by the way they were talking. Okay. Yeah, I could tell by the way they were talking.
You get that, all right.
Yeah.
That's enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny what sometimes our people will go to the ends of the earth, to protect and preserve. And a lot of times that N-word is one thing they will die at the hill to keep saying. But at the same time, get angry when somebody else says it. Now, that's where you get the problem of.
And that's why I wanted to review this video. This is the reason why I wanted to review this video. There are so many people that, again, like I said with my previous segment, is they want to throw around all of this, throw around that. But when it comes to them actually, somebody doing it to them, they have an issue. I am one of the few people that say that, how do I put it without doing TOS? You know those videos where you see, black people that may have snapped from being, derogatory, talked about, that is call me the N-word one more time, and then the person fucks around and they find out, and I'll be the first to say, no, I wouldn't hit them, but I'm not gonna judge them for their actions they do, because just because I wouldn't, I'm not gonna judge them for it. The first one to say that. Sometimes you cash a check where your ass, you write a check your ass can't cash. And you know what? Just because I wouldn't act out on it, I understand why other people act out on it. And if you're ever in that position where you've been denigrated so much that you feel like you need to act out on it, why the fuck would you do it to somebody else? I know it's not a perfect one-to-one thing, but this is one of those things where it's just like, why would you do the shit to somebody else that you wouldn't want done to you? Why would you say the shit that you wouldn't want to say the shit said to you? But let's continue.
Where you want to keep something going on, but have rules to shit. That is the stupidest shit I ever heard in my life, okay? Which is why when we started doing this whole thing, and there was a point when Billy was saying the N-word a lot.
Yeah.
And I spoke to you about that. Now listen, I ain't telling him not to say it. You know, I just gave a scenario as though, okay, we're here, we're doing our comedy, yada, yada. People like we're saying stuff like that. And for me personally, if I say something, I want it to be okay for them to go repeat it or come back and repeat it to me. Because at this point now, it becomes almost like rap songs now, right? Yeah. You drop the N-word, N-word, N-words, and we go to these concerts, you're going to get everybody saying these N-words, N-words, N-words. And if you're cool with that, by all means, go do you. But for me personally, I don't want that to come back to me. So if I'm in these streets and you come talking to me that bullshit, I have every right to say something about it because I have not put that energy out there for you to come back and say it to me.
It can be weaponized.
So, a thing, yeah, so I'm, weaponizing this thing. You know, it's such a disparity of how quickly the F word for, gays has been abolished.
Yeah.
Even thinking about it, it's gone. You can't do shit about that.
Yeah.
You know, but the N-word, you say that all day, every day,
And that's telling. It's definitely telling. Because people stop putting up with that shit. But let's go.
And because, unfortunately, our people are perpetuating this as though they want to take it and change it around. How do you take it and change it and want to make it, a thing that you take it and empowering yourself, right? How you empowering yourself by this word, but at the same time, nobody else can say it but you? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't work, right? If you could say it, everybody should be able to say it, right? But guess what? If you don't want anybody to say it, your ass should be saying it out publicly, like it's okay. Whatever you do behind closed doors, you could drop the N-bomb, F-bomb, whatever you want to do, right? But make sure that shit is with your people and your circle. Don't have it come out. Because if you do, right, and everybody's thinking it's okay, it's going to come back and bite you, man. Always. So that's why this N-word shit is always wacky to me. Because it's okay to say it, but you don't say it. You don't say it either. Only I can say it. I don't know. Let's get the paper bag out. Carlos, nah, brother, you better not say it because you ain't brown enough. You know what I mean? It's silly.
It is a reason why I don't use that word on stream. It is a reason why. One, because I know a lot of my videos go out to... my videos are attacking a lot of racist motherfuckers. I get that. I get that. Two, I want to be able to play it. As much as I curse and use profanity, I still don't want somebody to watch my videos and feel uncomfortable with saying shit because I'm saying shit. That's just a thing. But, hey, I watch a motherfucker channel who use it to describe everybody. I'm not going to sit back and say, oh, you can't use that word. But when it comes to me, no, I'm not going to fucking do it. But let's continue.
It's another level. Like I said, man, I drop that word sometimes. But over the years,
I've changed a lot. You used to drop it a little bit more often.
Over the years, I pulled back. But that's just me. Yeah. I'm not judging people.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not judging anybody at all. I never sat back and said, how dare you? You should be ashamed for using that word. I never said that. Never. I understand when people say it. I laugh at it. I have no problem with it to certain extents. But that's the problem. What I think with our culture, man. We can't even have our own opinions with somebody. It's different for a lot of the cultures. People can have their different opinions and be called on it and be challenged on it. But with us, it's always challenging. It comes back to challenging our blackness. You know what I mean?
It's like colorism inside the community itself.
It very much is. Yeah. And I was just kind of to the point where you are attacked for it. You're judged by it. Yeah. Just simply by me saying that, and listen, I was even saying it more as a movie dialogue thing. I was even saying it as a cultural thing. I said, they use the N-word a lot in the movie, and I just don't think it needed to be used that much. All of a sudden, it turned into I have a lot of white friends, and so maybe I don't do it because I'm controlled by them. To I think I'm better than everybody else. Or that's an old person thing. He must be getting up there.
And you see how so many motherfuckers use certain things to, discount who you are because you want to try to not conform to a wider society, just interact with a wider society. I remember hearing all this shit when they were talking about Shark. I remember all this shit. Oh, you have too many white friends. Oh, you have too many white creators. When they were talking about Shark, who doesn't even bring up a lot of issues that's specifically about the blackity black, but attacks racism. But let's continue.
Oh, you know what? Here you go with your race politics, old coon ass Corey. You know, it's wow, man. So you can't even. You mean to, like? And let me just say this: they weren't even attacking me on that. They attacked me on that, but also talking about I would like to see the images of black people improve in Hollywood. I was called a coon because of that. And I use the word right now because I guess I'm not a real nigga. So you know, I hate this. I hate this with ourselves, man. And it's the most ignorant shit I've ever seen. I'm getting really pissed of seeing people out there, black people attack other black people for getting educated, for trying to move up, for trying to live better lives somewhere. You should be helping those people, man. And those people should not be rubbing in other people's faces and trying to help other people on the way up, as you know, while they're gaining wealth, while they're gaining success. You know, we should all be trying to help each other, not pull each other down with some stupid bullshit. That pissed me off, man.
That was beautiful, man.
I
wonder why I've heard of people saying that you should stay in your own area. Where did I hear that shit from? Let me see. Did I hear about that from somewhere? Let's see. Yeah. Let's get back to. Here it goes. Here it goes.
I feel like we just haven't had a lot of conversations about the sellout, the Oreo discourse. I don't know what to call it. And so there's a couple things I felt like I wanted to talk about with that one. In looking, so some of the critiques were, you know, not every critique is in good faith, but some of them was like, okay.
In other words, they don't fucking like what I have to say, so it's in bad faith. Mind you, this is the motherfucker who literally made a video about debate bros. Mind you, this is the motherfucker who literally made a video about debate bros and how they use the term bad faith and all this other good shit. Right, one rule for me, but not for thee. Right? Okay, I'm sorry. Let's go.
Okay, if I'd have tried to be more clear, then this takeaway wouldn't have been possible. So I can understand that, because people like you define sellout and you know stuff like that. And yeah, like I left a little too much of that in my own head, thinking that people would just get it because they get where I'm coming from. But you know, not everybody's coming from the same standpoint, background. So first, I want to address calling parents who move their kids into all white areas sellouts. That was not what I wanted people to take away.
You know what? He called parents who move their kids to all white areas sellouts. But you know, he should be listened to on the left, right? He should be listened to on the left because reasons.
Hey, man, you know,
I feel you,
man.
Like, at least in the Puerto Rican community, that's also a big thing, especially in New York. Yeah.
Yeah,
so this is why we're not streaming on Kick. So we want to avoid this. Let's switch it, guys.
It's you know, it's kind of disheartening to see the Asian community, they really band together. The Jewish community forget about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And with us, it's all, you know, it's again, it goes baok to a lot of systemic racism and you know stuff that you know that's hard to get over, and subliminal shit and target words that keep us back as well. You know what I mean? It's just a lot of that shit we still need to kind of get over. But you know, I gotta, you know, I'm not blaming any type of one thing. But a lot of it is being normalized through music. A lot of it's being normalized through that medium, right? Again, I always go back to this joint. You could say the N-word all you want, right? Michael Jackson, King of Pop, he had a song out. They don't really care about us. My man said, "Jew me, sue me." Jew me, sue me. That became the buzz and topic for weeks on the news. How he offended the Jews and why did he say that? How could he say that? What did he say? And da 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 da. And that was a big thing because he said, "Jew me soon." That was it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he had other song. He dropped the N-bomb on one of those other songs. They ain't say shit about that. That was
Yeah. And you know what?
But, I was like, wow.
Well,
and so here's the thing, and this is not to take away from other communities who are actually able to pull together and say, hey, stop doing this shit. Hey, let's actually, address real criticism that people may have that we have of what somebody's saying. No, this is not to take away from that, because you know what? People should actually band together. But a lot of this shit is just fucking crazy. But let's continue.
That uproar was out of control.
It's normalized, and I think you said this, it's normalized in entertainment. Because listen, Oz is right. There's a lot of systemic racism out there. Other cultures have been allowed to come into this country and succeed. They've been able to pull together and pool their wealth together and pool their resources together and make stores and make businesses and own banks. We have done, don't get this wrong. We have done the same thing. Blacks have done the same thing, but we were just targeted more than those other groups. For some reason, we were told by this country, you will not have that. They bombed us, they mobbed us, they killed us, they burnt these places down. And so throughout time, we've just been used to just being people who don't have shit. We've been used to spend more money than try to earn money and earn wealth. And plus, we've been prevented from having it.
Where the Italian community, the Irish community, and other European countries were afforded the luxury, even Asian communities, that's a big thing. And when the Black community tried to have their own bank, have their own society, and at one point in history, they had a thriving economy, they said, we gotta shut this shit down because it's gonna surprise us.
Well, for some reason with us, because we didn't come to this country like other cultures did, where we came in free. We were seen as.
You know what? Here's the thing, and I've actually been someone to say this, and I actually lost somebody in my community because I actually said this. This whole black separatist shit, where you see people that's like, well, black people need to build some shit of their own. I want to tell you this: that will never fucking happen. Not in a way that we can't do it. They fucking bombed Tulsa. We need to build our own shit, stay with our own shit, has never been something that when you separate yourself out, it never fucking works. Even because I had this discussion with somebody who was older. He's like, well, you see this community, they never keep money only unto themselves. No, they make sure everybody around them is taken care of. But the money never stays just in their community. Never stays just in their community. They never just cater to themselves. Because it never fucking works. Just cater to one small piece of a community. But let's continue.
Property. We are seen as people who you will not get ahead of anybody, especially us. And so any gains were always taken away from us. But we need to look past the bullshit. This is why I always tell y'all, man, look into subtle racism. Look into the racism that is behind closed doors. Look into racism that is quietly out there and is, as you say, Oz, normalized, because that is what's happening right now. That's why I say that it's important to see these images of us being, people who are not, who are not always being funny, who not always being athletes, who not always being rappers and all that. That's fine. All that stuff is bad, but some of this stuff they love to see. Like with comedy, they're laughable, they're affable, they're funny. They like to see us in non-threatening positions. Those non-threatening positions are positions where it seems like we don't really have power. That's right. That's intelligence is power. Social status is power to them, and so they don't want us to have that. That's why they push these images of us in places where we don't have that.
The caveat to that is, and how people have been getting away with this for so long, these networks and these entertainment getting it for so long. Hey, you guys are saying it to each other. We're not saying it. You guys are. So, hey, it's okay.
BT. Damn. What
I mean? If we took some sort of pride in ourselves and understand that this N-word was used we weren't even seen as humans. That word describes us in such a bad effing way. Why would you want to take that and try to turn this shit around?
Yeah. And
why would you want to take that and turn it? Why would you want to try and do that? Granted, put that word in the museum. Let's go look at that word and understand it and break the shit down. Why do we have to continue to call ourselves that?
They have trained us to normalize and accept ignorance. And I'm gonna tell you something. The world of all classes, shapes, sizes, genders, everybody everywhere in this world, no matter who you are, the world is mostly ignorant. And if you notice something about ignorant people don't want to change.
That's
and
right.
for a long time, we
easier.
have embraced our ignorance, and we thought it was something to be proud of, to the point where, and like I said, I'm not giving you a Cosby speech. I recognize what goes on with our culture. I recognize what set us back. But man, we got to look at some shit and stop pulling each other down for simple comments as, well, I think I'd like...
And you know what, GA, I get what you're saying. I fucking get that a lot of people tried. And that... A lot of people tried. There were some that didn't. And as Corey said, the phone call was coming inside the house. Even the bread tube motherfuckers. Oh shit. You think these bread tube motherfuckers, and I'm not coming down on you. You think these bread tube motherfuckers actually don't use that word? FD tosses it around like he motherfucking tosses it like just crazy. Yeah, no, a lot of people just don't give a fuck about using that word. And that's fine. That's fine. Like I said, I'm a little bit more responsible with my platform that I just don't try to use it. Do I use it in my personal life? Well, that's for the people around my personal life. But are you just gonna send me like N-word this, N-word that, N-word this? Hell, I don't even think I use it on Twitter or Facebook. But like I said, is this a discussion that we need to have? Maybe. But let's let them finish.
I think I like to better myself. Oh, you think you better than me? You that's like me. I don't want to hear all that.
Crazy,
people.
right?
Also remember that the lowest communities that get the lowest education in the countries are black communities, because education in this country is funded by taxes and housing in a lot of places. So the entire system and systemic racism is designed in such a way so you will not get out of that.
And let's close this off. I'm gonna tell you something that was very enlightening to me. When I was over in Mexico, and this is, I got the number of, I didn't get the number, like I got the number. I was there, some very young girls there. They were very nice. They hung out with me. So we exchanged information. But
Corey, where's this going?
one of them was sitting there with me the night that I was talking to this woman, Mexican woman, by the way, who was there, but she's from New Mexico.
Oh, my uncle.
And she told me, we were talking for a while. And she actually opened up and said, I don't mean this as racist when I say this. And all of us started laughing because I said, usually when you said you don't mean this to be racist, it's probably going to sound racist. But please, continue.
I don't mean to. I'm going to say this. Tyler Perry makes his money off of black tragedy. He does. It's tragedy porn. That's what Tyler Perry makes his money off of. Tragedy porn and stereotypes. Look at some of his most popular shows. House of Pain. How did House of Pain start? Yeah. Meet the Browns, which is a spinoff of the Medea shows. Let's not forget the Medea shows. The one thing, or two things that I've seen Tyler Perry in that hasn't just been tragedy porn for the sake of being tragedy porn. The motherfucker was good in Alex Cross. But that wasn't because it was his property. Alex Cross is like a property that happens. Hell, Morgan Freeman played in Alex Cross. And surprisingly, Gone Girl. He was surprisingly good in Gone Girl. But again, it wasn't his property. But let's go.
Continue. I have a show on Monday. Continue.
I gotta hear this. And because I was sitting there having a conversation, and I was sitting up there, I was very mellow. I had a few drinks in me, and I was talking to her in the tone that I'm talking to you right now. If I'm talking, I've changed my demeanor just a little bit to show I was talking like. I'm talking like this right now. Yes, I'm having a good time. How are you doing? So how long are you here? When are you going back? What do you do? That kind of conversation. So she said, well, I don't mean to be racist, but oh shit, here we go. Go ahead, please. But you're the first.
We've always said those conversations. I don't mean to be racist, but I don't mean to sound sexist, but when somebody says, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but the next thing that's coming out their mouth is disrespectful as shit. Let's go.
Black person that I've seen that doesn't act weird. And and these were white girls over there, and they were just like, holy shit. And we all just kind of like, what the
Was the person white saying this?
No,
to you,
I told you she was Mexican.
Okay, so Mexicana.
That was a Mexican woman from New Mexico. So I was like, and I was like, so what do you mean? I said, what do you mean by that? I was like, Marty. What do you mean by that?
That's awesome. Got your Billy D on.
Yeah. Oh, and it got worse. She said, oh, you talk, you talk normal. I was like, oh shit. I was like, no, first of all, I'm offended because don't think because I'm talking about the N-word and how black people talk, then that's not abnormal, by the way. It's just, it might be different from your culture, but we ain't animals because we talk like we do. All right.
So here's one of the things that always gets me about certain shit. The whole expectation that certain people are how they portrayed on like TV or videos or movies and shit like that. Secondly, there's no fucking normal. I'm sorry, there's no fucking normal. Thirdly, I just can't. But let's go.
Just because black people talk a certain way, that does not mean that, it's not a reflection on them being weird. But so I said, okay, so we into some, oh, you speak so well shit. Okay, so I'm an exception. All right. And then she got offended when I called on it, because I didn't even get mad. I was like, bitch, what are you talking about? I was like, no, I said, well, I'm not saying you're racist, ma'am, but I'm saying that does come across as a little ignorant, And then she got offended. She got mad at me. Yeah. For calling out on that. For calling out some ignorant shit.
Okay, and so here's the thing too. And one of the things I do want to say is this. I think there does need some discernment when there are people that say racially insensitive shit and just come out and say racist shit. I think they both need to be addressed. But the way you address it can be the difference between somebody getting super offended and someone listening to you. But the way you address it. If he would have like, you ignorant racist bitch, I don't think that it still would have hit. I think it would have had a worse outcome than what he's describing. But let's go.
And but where did she get it from? I can guarantee you, she doesn't hang around a lot of black people. Nope. And where she gets it from watching the media. She gets it from watching, and when she sees stuff in the media, she sees other black people that talk like me. I guarantee you, because she's a general manager of Burger King. She told me that. So she gets all kind of customers up in there. So don't tell me that you don't see other black people like me. She chooses to see what she's been fed over time.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. That's right. And don't you hate when that shit happens? You talking to somebody who's, different race or whatever like that, and you're not even thinking about this person is white or whatever. Yeah. You're just having a regular conversation, and they pull that bullshit out. And it's like, oh, fuck this, right. That's right, I am talking to this. Not even talking, at this point, I'm not even looking at a person anymore. I'm looking at your ethnicity, because you're bringing up some bullshit that I wasn't even paying attention to at all.
You're
we were just talking to talk.
Me.
And all of a sudden, this I hate that. I hate that. You just have a nice conversation, they bring us some race shit. You out of nowhere, like, what the f is about?
Yeah, what are you talking about? We weren't talking about that. Thank you.
Yes,
you know what? You said right. We weren't talking about race at all. I was having a pleasant conversation with you.
Good time.
Ma'am.
But you wanted to drop that.
But for some reason, it came out of nowhere. Like I was supposed to take this as a compliment.
Because she thought about that as soon as she saw you. That's why.
Yeah, and I did not even get mad at her. I calmly told her. I said, "Well, that's a little insensitive, man." I said, I didn't think that was called for. I called her. I said, I don't think that you have. I think you have a very small circle of friends. You're kind of sheltered when it comes to other cultures. And by the way, it wasn't just black people. She had her opinions of gays. She had her opinions of poor people. So she was just kind of ignorant all around. All poor people on welfare. Oh, these days I should have known it was going there. Oh, these days, I live for my kids. I love my kids. And these days, you got to be careful. I mean, you never know. I was like, you never know what? I already know we're going. Well, it's okay. Hey, for everybody come out and say they're gay now? I was like, yes, yes it is.
Oh man, she had well-rounded ignorance. Okay.
Yeah, it was everywhere, man. I couldn't get too mad because I was like, shit, that was I told her that's what made her mad. I said, man, I think that. Oh, I told her, I said you're prejudiced. I said you have a prejudice, and I'm not calling you racist. So you have a prejudice, but I said, I think the only people that you really don't have this for is probably for white people.
Yeah.
And she got mad at me. I said, maybe not poor white people. You know, I'm sure you have a judgment against very poor white people too. But I think if you see an affluent white person, that's the one person that you do not have any judgment against. And, she got mad. And then came back later where she was like, I can't even hear what they were saying. They were talking about each other. They were talking to some of my friends in Spanish. And she was like, see, we're making jokes about Mexicans. I was like, first, I can't understand what you're talking about. Second, I guarantee you it's different from what you just did a little while ago.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. But you made a great.
So yeah, this is what I wanted to cover. It was, I mean, like they're going back and forth for the rest of it. But this is what I wanted to cover. I just thought it was a great video to bring up. In light of some of the shit that I've been talking about recently. Again, I guess my theme of, the last two segments is stop being an asshole. And don't use slurs if you don't want slurs used against you. That's my biggest thing. And the funny thing about it is, I actually telegraphed this in my Discord. I've actually been talking about certain shit in my Discord. And if you haven't done so, look, check it out. I don't know. I don't think weird is a thing. I don't think weird is a thing. I'm sorry. I think weird is a thing. I don't think normal is a thing. So yeah. So that's just something that I saw. Anyway, I'm gonna cut this segment off here. Like, share, and subscribe. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by October the 1st. We're gonna cut this segment here, and yeah. All right, we got this done. I know I got one more video that I want to actually do. So yeah, we're gonna actually cover that. I just need to. I'll be right back, guys. I gotta go check on my the ham that I'm smoking. So be right back. Don't go anywhere. Be right back. All right, I'm back. Yay! Woohoo! I'm back. You know what's funny is I actually do actually like doing these, I guess, mid-afternoon shows. It's refreshing to say the least. And it may be one of those things where it's just like, damn, I really just enjoy doing these shows. I have at least one more video that I want to go over. Remove that. Remove that. All right. One more video. One more video. Then I actually want to work on some art. All right. Cool. Let's go. Alpha male. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't even pretend to care. Let's see what this new channel that I picked up actually has to say about alpha males. So let's go. All right. So I came across this channel not too long ago. It's Josh Strife Says. And it's actually an interesting channel. Here, I guess he does YouTube videos and Twitch channels. And by the way, if you haven't done so, go ahead and watch his channel, subscribe to his channel. It's actually pretty interesting. I know he recently did a video that I saw about reaction content, and this is why I want to make sure that I, address the channel himself. And like make sure I give him all credit, because there are some people that are assholes when it comes to reaction content. But he was actually had a pretty good take. But I thought this take was actually pretty good. So let's actually watch this and why don't fall for alpha males, please.
Kelly, my goodness, thank you very much for the donation. That's remarkably kind of you. Glad to finally catch a stream. I was wondering, any recommendations for improving one's general speech? Always admired the vocabulary of your content and how smoothly it's spoken, and I strive to improve my communication. That's a really good question.
So this was initiated by a question about improving speech. Oh God. That's one of the hardest things to actually improve when you have a job or a hobby where you have to constantly talk to people. It is very hard to just do. But let's have a chat about this. Let's go.
So when I was in university, I used a lot of what we call nesting phrases, which are the, interestingly, only universal human sound from almost every culture and every language, and that's when people say, or they fill silences with noise. And it takes a long time to train yourself out of doing this. And the reason that it's really important to do this is, and I'll take a slight tangent from playing the game to explain this.
Oh, and I just want to actually say this. As somebody who's worked for a call center for like 13 years, that is very hard to actually do. Extremely hard to do. It was at a point right now when I actually took the words like out of my vocabulary. Just to say, well, this is as if, or because I focus on taking the word like, and out of my vocabulary so much that, yeah, I started to sound like a robot and I had to put it back in. But let's go.
When you walk on stage, if there are people in the room that you are presenting to, or talking to, or a business meeting, any kind of situation where other people are waiting for you to deliver information to them, you have all the power. They have a problem, you have the solution, and they are waiting for you.
And this is my philosophy when it comes to working at the call center. When I have people that are excited or just downright rude, I tell people all the time that are new, no, they're calling you for your help. They don't have the right to talk to you or treat you any kind of way over the phone. You have an issue and I'm trying to solve it. Don't let them talk to you this kind of way, any kind of way, because they're calling you. They're listening to you. They're looking for you to solve their problem. But, not everybody gets that, and it doesn't work on everybody. But let's hear him talk about this. Let's go.
Depending on how you act will change their opinion of you moment to moment. So if I'm 5 minutes late and I walk in somewhere and I say, oh my God, guys, I'm so sorry I'm late. There was this and there was this and there was this. You wouldn't believe this. I'm so sorry. Straight away, their opinion of me drops. If I walk in and go, thank you for waiting, walk up to the start and go, right, let's begin. Their opinion of me, even if they might be annoyed at me, which is totally understandable, I am late, their opinion of me goes up slightly. Their respect.
So that's actually really telling. And I know that there are people just in leftist spaces that think being humble is the same thing as being self-deprecating. And that's why you see a lot of people who are on the left that aren't as self-deprecating as the stereotype is. They seem to get shunted off to like, oh, you're just being a reactionary. Just the whole thing of that he's just doing where he just says, well, I know I'm late. I apologize for being late. Let me come in, just address the fact that I'm being late, but let's get started. Thank you for waiting. Versus, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry for being late. I'm sorry for being a male. I'm sorry for not understanding your point from your point perspective the way you wanted to. No, just address the problem and go from there. But let's go.
The admiration, the annoyance, absolutely, but also the authority I have in that room. When you are thinking about something to say, if you fill a silence with a noise, a nesting noise, like or any kind of fiddling that you would do, it immediately diminishes your authority. The people in the room want to hear valuable and important words from you.
And so the way when I first heard this, I'm thinking, oh, this motherfucker, he's doing the alpha male bullshit of like, you must command the room, you must tell people how. I listen to things. I try to listen from all over the spectrum to, see if this is a person that I'm gonna make content about, if this is somebody that I'm gonna actually just find some value from what they're saying. And it gets really interesting. It really gets interesting. So let's let them go.
They do not want to hear random noises. They do not want to hear ums or ers, because that is you effectively trying to fill a silence while stalling for time to think about what to say. The irony is the process of filling that silence is itself showing that you are not comfortable with that silence. And here's a cheat code for human psychology. People hate silences. They hate them.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely everyone hates that awkward silence. It's an interrogation technique.
Silence.
You sit down with someone in front of you, stare at them silently. They will start talking just to fill the silence.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong at all. He's not wrong.
So if you start going all the time, you are showing that you are just as annoyed and afraid as that silence as they are. Don't be. Walk into the room straight away. Thank you for waiting. Let's begin. And if you can't think of something to say, take a minute. Let that silence happen. Hold it. They will be far more awkward than you are. And then speak. As far as how to become more eloquent, honestly, watch people who are way better than me. There are many, many eloquent people, because if I was to show you all of the outtakes that I have when making YouTube videos, they could fill an entire video themselves. I've got so many outtakes where I mess up so many lines, and I script and record everything, and I fall over and trip over my words all the time.
And this is where I was like, oh, yeah, this guy isn't pretending, or this guy isn't showing that, hey, maybe I'm the best. No, he's accurately saying that I make mistakes. And if you saw all of my mistakes, then you would not have this admiration or this false admiration, this whole imposter syndrome that so many people have. This guy, is literally saying like, hey, I mess up too. It just takes practice. Don't be afraid to like mess up. And that's when I knew, oh shit, he's actually just giving advice to people. But let's go.
But you don't see that on YouTube because I edit it out. Why do I do Twitch? Well, for one of them, it's because I enjoy interacting with you guys. For the second reason, it's because this is my challenge to not trip over my words, to not say something I'm going to get cancelled for without meaning to say it. This is my challenge to see if I can constantly, on my feet, think without saying or for about 2 or 3 hours.
When I first started my YouTube Twitch journey, that was one of the things that I wanted to do. I've been doing YouTube Twitch for like 7 years now. And I did want to use it as a way to practice my call center voice. Now my call center voice is it's just fucking it's awesome. It definitely can take some room to improve. I'm not gonna lie, it can take some definite room to improve. But I started like using what I was taking from Twitch and YouTube, and then taking that practice and using it for my call center job. And it reversed, started using my call center, having to have the answers, having to think on more than one problem at a time, and still talk. And it just became cyclical of me working on this skill, working on that skill, working on this skill, and it's going back and forth. So yeah, what he's saying right now is something that is fucking awesome, and you never know what skills you have until you try different shit. But let's go.
And it's difficult, and I fail a lot. But the failures are the stepping stones to improving. So, if you want to improve your own vocabulary or improve your presentation, look into stopping to say and ers, and when you catch yourself doing it, forgive yourself. You don't need to beat yourself up, don't need to be angry, just stop and chill. So what I'm saying is this is all pre-recorded, yes. Can you say every 10 seconds for the next 5 minutes? I can try, yeah. Only trails, hey dude.
Okay, so this is the part when it gets so annoying, and not because of what he says or the message he conveys, but yeah. But I like that part about if you're working on something, forgive yourself if you mess up and still keep working on it. I did a TikTok recently about it, but let's go.
It's good to see you. How are you doing? I am finishing the Giants Foundry quest at the minute, and what we're trying to do at the minute is just see what Kovac needs with everything. Okay, so how do I go about setting up a mold, and sorting the parts? So now I'm doing all the stuff people normally do. Are you seeing how irritating it is and how damaging it is to the authority that you think somebody has when presenting?
Very, 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 very.
Being told to sort of 3 parts, blended tip. The quest guide changed. Use the mold jig, select each part, each mold is different. I'll go back and have a look at some. Yeah, kinda. I'll go back and have a look at all this. I want to just right.
Very fucking annoying. Let's go.
Okay, so we've got the mold jig, forte, blade. Can you see how irritating it is? That's another thing that people do all the time. When you are reading something, if someone else is watching you read it, if it's time sensitive, people tend to do that thing where they mumble the words to themselves. They constantly mumble it. Like if I was doing it now on screen, I'd be like...
Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. My fan fell out the window. Let's go.
Mold setup, commission, flat broad, 4-day, blaze, temps. Here's the truth. No one actually reads like that. The only reason people say those noises, say those words, is because they need to let other people around them know that that is the point they're reading right now. And they need to let them know because they value that person's opinion and authority greater than their own. If I need to read something and there's people in the room with me, I'm not going to mumble the words out loud. I'm just going to read silently to myself, and at the end be like, okay, I've got it. And that, what that causes is everyone else to wait for me. And it sounds incredibly arrogant that you can force people to do that, but when you become comfortable with doing it, you very quickly understand, and this unfortunately is where the whole NPC culture has come from. You very quickly understand that a lot of people are very uncomfortable when they are the center of attention or other people are waiting for them. Now, the reason I hate the whole NPC discussion, and this was a separate tangent we've got.
So, he did just go over some things, and you hear it just straight out. Just red flags pop up. Wait for people, wait for you. People, you just respect your authority. Yeah, that really sounds like it's hitting that red pill bullshit. But is it really? If somebody's coming to you for information, if somebody's coming from you for your expertise, if somebody's coming from you just for your opinion, is it disrespectful to show that authority, show that confidence? Is it disrespectful? But let's go.
Got to go off on for a second. When you say that someone has main character, is this now an alpha male guru stream? You know what? Yeah, it is, except most alpha males get it wrong, because what they think is alpha is actually arrogant, narcissistic, sociopathic, and downright rude. First of all, the entire study about alpha wolves was already flawed in itself, and the person that did the study has come out and said this only seems to happen in captivity. So if they're referencing the whole alpha wolf thing, you know, there's always an alpha wolf, you're already actually putting yourself in the position of a creature that's in captivity. And
Damn. You'll never hear these red pill guys actually say that. You'll never hear these red pill says, oh, the study is, well, it came from somebody who literally misunderstood the behaviors of how people act in how wolves act in captivity. Wow, I can't say that word. You'll just hear I'm an alpha, you're a beta. And even when you look in nature, and you see who are the leaders of different groups, let's say our primate cousins, you know, the biggest and the strongest isn't the ones that are mostly chosen. It's the ones that actually help others most that are actually chosen as leaders between our closest primate cousins. But let's go.
And then people have gone on to say, well, actually, it's the sigma, it's the theta, it's the this, it's the that, it's the other, it's the next one, it's whatever. All you're doing is going through the Greek and the Roman alphabet trying to find letters that outrank each other to say that you are greater than somebody else because you're putting yourself higher up on this imaginary hierarchy. The word alpha has unfortunately, of course, been tainted by people using it in incredibly rude, domineering, controlling ways, but if we're going to use the word alpha and attempt to reclaim it, how about having it be the kind of person that people respect and admire and want to be with? And most importantly, when you spend time with that person, they want to bring you up to the best you can be instead of push you down in order to keep them the top of the totem pole. And
how many people do you see in like the red pill community that just, oh, you brokey, or you're not an alpha, you're a beta? Dude just actually effectively used my catchphrase. Be the person that you want to be around and not who you just want to be like. That's the whole message. If you are a leader, if you are somebody that people look to and respect their opinion, to respect your opinion, you know what you're not? You're not just a dick. You're somebody that, oh shit, people want to be around me. People actually like being around me. Chris Evans. And everything you hear about that man off the sets, no, people just want to be around him. what's another actor? Like, you get so many of these actors that people just want to be around. They're cool because people just want to be around them, not because they're a dick. Let's go.
And I know that I'm getting quite passionate about this, but this is something that really, really irritates me because I was a teacher for a hell of a long time. And
Ryan Reynolds, people like he's a jerk off. He makes off-color jokes, but it's just like, no, people just want to be around him because he's funny, and he's just not a jerk to people.
And when I was teaching in schools, young guys have awful role models because of, and it's not just the whole boomer thing of, social media bad. No, social media has definitely done some damage to society, but it's also provided us with huge amounts of opportunities for both networking and jobs and general connections. What it has unfortunately allowed to do is allow the loudest, the most arrogant, the rudest, the most violent, and the most aggressive people a platform to say, look at me, I'm the best. And unfortunately, because of how young, impressionable minds work, they look at people who are the loudest and the most violent and assume that they are in control. I absolutely hate the fact that so many young boys are looking up, and I understand that's a kind of sexist remark to make, but unfortunately the numbers do overwhelmingly show that it is young boys looking up to these alpha male or sigma role models and acting in an incredibly unfriendly way to both their peers and any authority figures. It's awful that that's a generation that's being raised to believe that is what they need to be. And I'll tell you,
and when I heard this at first, I thought about some of the quote unquote examples of guys that are around when I was in my early teens and stuff like that. Outside of just, my my own father, who was a very aggressive and curt man. I wouldn't even say curt. He was an asshole. My father was an asshole, but he always taught me two things: protect people, don't be fucking cruel, and stand up for people. That whole don't be cruel thing was very important. And then I just thinking about some of the people that I saw on TV. I was growing up around a time where the next generation, so you'll see examples of guys on TV like Jean-Luc Picard or Will Riker. You know what I'm saying? Or you see, just other people. Like, I think Hercules was on when I was younger, around that time. But it was before Kevin Sorbo took that whole, like, I need to suck on that Jesus dick. Anyway, you had role models. It was still had G.I. Joe. And if you go back and look at, like, some of the old G.I. Joe cartoons, they weren't exactly the hardest, I'm treat everybody bad, man. Like, no, a lot of these motherfuckers, if you look at the cartoons that I grew up around, affecting me between my 10 and age 20, they were never this, I'm gonna be super mass. Like, I remember watching fucking Thundercats, and Lion-O was not the most masculine masked man that you ever will see. One, because he was literally a kid in the body of an adult. But like, you saw this shit. You saw these people that they just weren't like super masked, like and that was okay. But they just had friends that liked to be around them. But let's continue.
Exactly why they're doing that, and it's a horrible realization, but it's because people are scared of where they fit in with society. People are not confident. People don't feel safe. They don't feel secure, whether it's in their friendship groups, their social groups, their family groups, their jobs. People want to feel a level of control over their own lives. And so instead of going out and researching and discovering who you are through trial and error, which itself is scary and painful, they just look for these loud, obnoxious people who say, hey, if you do everything I tell you, you will be successful. This is what people want. Listen to me, I know what's best for you. And that sucks. That really sucks. You guys all know the role models, unfortunately, that these young guys are looking up to and idolizing, and they're disgusting. You want a role model to look up to? Keanu Reeves. Dude lost...
You hear things on the set, oh no, he's just a nice guy. The motherfucker learned fucking martial arts at a relatively older age compared to some people, and he's still cool. He even put his martial arts teacher, the man of Tai Chi, was literally like his martial arts teacher that he put out there. He's just a decent guy.
So much throughout his young life.
And I saw somebody actually making a video talking about him. It's like, oh yeah, he's just cool and collective. But no, when you look at him in interviews, he's engaged in interviews. He's listening to what people say. It's never, it's never just this, I'm just cool. No, it's shit. I'm gonna say something that's gonna piss a lot of people off. As much as like it showed like these super crazy action movies, if you ever looked at Arnold Schwarzenegger, that motherfucker was never that, oh, I'm super mass, I'm super this. He's just like, no, she's like, he was a big kid that liked to have fun with people. The one cold movie that he played in was Terminator, and even then he was just like, I still gonna listen to this little kid tell me what the fuck to do. Other than that, look at Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. He's never just like, I'm the super mask man. Super, like, yeah, you get Predator. But even still, he was like, I don't know, worried about everybody. I still like Commando. Commando was funny. And we're not going to talk about True Lies. True Lies was awesome. But let's go.
And is still one of the kindest people working around there. Just being genuine, making sure everyone's okay. Making sure everyone feels that they are the best version of themselves. That's a role model you want to look up to. So, yeah, this is the reason it irritates me so much, the whole kind of alpha thing. People do need role models. And who you look up to as a role model should be the kind of person that you want to emulate in life and become like. And unfortunately, the vast majority of those people now are just loud, obnoxious, and boisterous. You want a role model? Someone in chat said, go and be like Jack Black. Without a doubt. Go and be like Jack.
And when I first heard this, I'm like, how many motherfuckers would really want to be like Jack Black? Now, fine. I was never a super Jack Black movie fan. Like, I wouldn't go see Nacho Libre. It just seems too stupid for me. But when you think about the career that Jack Black has, motherfucker did whatever he wanted to. Oh, you're talking about me? You look like oh, but I'm having fun. I took my crazy band career. I took my crazy, oh yeah, talking about jokes, to actually putting out some good music. Like, what do you expect? And he still has fun every day. Motherfucker is gray as hell right now. I seen him with his Peach's son, like when he actually did it in like the Koopa outfit. But he has fun. Is he the biggest star in Hollywood? No. But he loves the fuck he does. I think he still voice Kung Fu Panda? They got a Kung Fu Panda 4. Oh God. He still voices a motherfucking TV show. Okay, yeah, no, and he has fun with the character. Let's go.
I see so many young guys, especially from like high school, college level, talking about wanting all the money, wanting all the respect, wanting all the power, wanting all the admiration. Look, guys, if you're in the RuneScape, if you're in Old School RuneScape right now and you've followed to help me, I very much appreciate the fact that you are just standing around alking while I'm just ranting.
And see, here, this is the funniest part. What was I just saying about that? What was I just saying about this? Will Riker from Star Trek TNG. if you ever looked at Star Trek TNG, he was a playboy, but he wasn't the type of playboy that you would think that he would be. There was an episode where there was this crazy ass society that like had very rigid gender constraints, where most people were non-binary, and it was a scientist that, you know, he got close to, and they obviously coded more towards woman. But when you hear about the behind the scene things about Jonathan Franks, like, why does it have to be a woman? How come it couldn't be a man? Jonathan Franks actually pushed for that, but the Censor was like, no. Shit, talk about fun shit. Oh my god. Gargoyles. That motherfucker had fun with that. Like, when you talk about different shit, I'm getting too nostalgic. I'm sorry. I'm off on a tangent.
About people having bad role models, but I appreciate the fact that you've come down. You've given your time. And Ascender, do you know this is going to happen? Like, are you sat there going, all right, guys, everyone settle in for a long ALK session. He's gone on a rant again. He's talking about something he cares about. Everyone going, let's get a quick God Wars run in while we're here. You know, we've got time. That kind of stuff. But yeah, the sports was a big one for it. People look up to sports stuff. When I was a kid, my role model was Jim Carrey. Again, a good role model to have. A very, very successful guy who has struggled through a lot of his life. But what I really do think that role models should be, and I think that the kind of alpha thing, you know, you've seen that picture of, you know, Giga Chad, the idea that this absolutely ridiculously ripped dude with an incredibly square jaw, and everyone always paints him as the good opinion.
Newsflash: no woman really likes that. No woman really likes that. They don't. They may think that Giga Chad may be a fun exercise, maybe too, but no woman really likes that. That's what men think women are attracted to. No, truly, that's what men think women are attracted to, and that's what some men are attracted to. Let's keep it real. But let's go.
And someone else is the bad opinion. You want to be alpha in any way? Be the kind of person that everyone wants to invite to the party. Not just the obnoxious teenage boys who are like, oh my god, this dude's got loads of cars and loads of money, he's going to treat all these women incredibly disrespectfully. No, be the person that everyone wants at the party.
Be the person that you want to be around, not just who you want to be.
Going. If they get a little bit, you know, insulting towards you, that doesn't matter. You can take it. You understand maybe they're having a bad day. Maybe they're not in the best headspace right now. Everything rolls off you like water off a duck's back. It's not a problem at all. Be the guy that shows up with pizza. Be the guy that sits someone down and says, okay, man, I know you're going through a hard time right now. Let's talk about it. That kind of stuff. That is the role model that you should have. That is who you should be. You know, pleasing everyone's not a good idea. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Pleasing everyone's not a good idea at all, because eventually if you please everyone, you're not only going to sacrifice your own identity to do it, but you're going to end up pleasing people who are themselves offensive people. So I'm not saying please everyone at all. I'm saying that if you're going to go to a party and you like the kind of people that are there, or either gathering or just have people say good things about you behind your back, that kind of stuff. Did I play in the new D&D movie? I did not, although I definitely would have done had I been invited.
I don't know about the D&D movie.
I thought it was genuinely really good. Giga Chad is not what everyone wants it to be. It's what women want. Thus, men want to be like him. Again.
No. Women don't want Giga Chad. Again, they may want it for a stomp or a romp, but they just don't want to be. Nah.
That is, and this is a thing that really irritates me. Not you personally, but the entire idea. When people say, oh, what do women want? I'm sorry, are we lumping every single woman into this giant amorphous blob with one single consciousness that every single one of them agree on? Not at all. Instead of looking
wow, it's like women aren't monoliths. Neither are men.
What men want, what women want. How about just what this individual person wants? Instead of lumping everyone together into this big group, say, right, okay, what do you want? People always say, oh, I'm going to try and impress women. Okay, that's a broad demographic you're going for there. It's a very specific, large demographic with a hell of a lot of nuance and changes within it. How about I like that individual person. I want to go and talk to them, see how they're doing. People think that there is like a cheat code that if you do or say or act, everyone will suddenly want you, when the truth, honestly, is be respectful to people, take care of yourself as far as body and hygiene goes to the extent that you are comfortable with, treat people with respect, talk to people, make your intentions obvious and clear, and then don't change your opinion of people based on how they do or don't feel about what you do or don't want in relation to them.
Damn. This man is spitting. So, let me put it in different terms. Make sure you clean and, work out as little or as much as you want to, where it is comfortable for you. Treat people well as you would want them to treat you. If you have intentions for liking someone, be upfront with them. And if you're okay, if you have those intentions, if they want to reciprocate or not, still treat them well. If
you have got a crush on someone, it's okay to tell them. It's okay if they don't reciprocate. If they don't and it's awkward to you and you don't want to talk to them again, that's fine as well. If they don't reciprocate and they understand that you're not going to change how you treat or how you act toward them, great. Just keep going with that. That's fine. It's honestly mostly...
This is why I say that there's no such thing as a friend zone. There is no such thing as a friend zone. The friend zone is something where you're being dishonest with your intentions. You're only doing something because you think if I put enough niceness tokens in this person, then I'm going to get sex from it. Either you do it because you want to treat them that way, or you don't. But let's continue.
About communication. It really is. And yeah, the other answer is if that doesn't work, you can just press up, up, down, down, left, right, BA start, select, and that will get you like a partner immediately. Someone said to me when I was a teacher, how do I get a girlfriend? And I said to them, you're asking the wrong question. Change the question to how do I become someone worth dating? What do you bring to the table? And they're like, oh, I'm a nice guy. Okay, cool. That is the bare minimum.
Yes. I'm a nice guy. Wait, what? So just not treating somebody like an asshole deserves you to be dating? That's not a thing, dog. I'm a nice guy. Huh? What? And I'm sorry, it's raining because it's cool and it's warm in my apartment and I need to get it's warm in my apartment, so I keep the fan open and it's raining outside, so I was just trying to, keep everything cool. But yeah, I'm a nice guy. Okay, bare minimum. What else do you offer? I have money. What again, that's the woman can't snuggle up to your money at night. Okay, let's go.
I hate that phrase. Oh, I'm a nice guy. Congratulations. You're at 1 out of 10. This is the absolute bare minimum that you need to meet. That's like advertising a film with a poster that says it has a plot. The actors are visible. Sometimes there's sound. All right, cool. You're a nice guy. Sweet. If that is what you go to for your this is what's impressive about me, that just shows almost anyone that's talking to you that you really want a medal for doing the bare minimum. I don't mean to offend anyone, but you shouldn't get praise for doing the absolute bare minimum. Where was I with this rant? That was it. I was at the point of like, oh, I'm a nice guy, all right? We're going to need some more than that, champ. We're very much going to need more than that going on. The problem is that if you have to say you're a nice guy, you probably aren't.
Exactly. This is what I tell people all the time. Now, mind you, yes, I find myself telling a lot of women that I date, no, I'm not nice. I'm not nice. I'm just me. And then they break out like, no, you're a nice guy. Like, oh, you're kind, or like, but seriously, they say it because of my actions. They say it because who the fuck I am. I literally go out of my way to tell people that, oh no, I'm an asshole. And they say, well, you're kind of flipping at the mouth, but you actually care about people. And on the flip side, I've heard so many people say, yeah, of course I'm a nice guy. Of course I'm generous. Of course I'm loving. You have to tell people that. It's like when people have to say, of course I'm a Christian. You have to tell people that. All right, let's go.
Decide that. That's one of the things. Other people can say that about you. That's fine. And if they do, fantastic. If someone else describes you as a nice guy, that's a pretty good sign. If you describe you as a nice guy, that comes across badly. Now, I'm not saying that the kind of specific, literal definition of being a nice guy is bad. You know, the literal definition of, oh, they're nice, that's lovely. Okay, cool. We can do more. We can definitely do more. There is a phenomenally good article on Cracked written by the then editor, I believe, Jack, and the article is called 6 Harsh Truths That Will Make You a Better Person. And
Wait, let's see that. Let's go back. All right, Cracked right here. 6 harsh truths that'll make you a better person. And F11. 2022, motherfuckers. Let's do this. The world only cares about what it can get from you. Yeah. It's another one. The hippies were wrong. The greatest scene in the history of movies is, for those of you who don't watch, it's the famous speech Alec Baldwin gives in cinematic masterpiece Glenn Ross. Baldwin's character, whom you assume is a villain, addresses a room full of dudes and tears them a new asshole, telling them they're about to get fired unless they close the sales they've been assigned. Nice guy. I don't give a shit. Good father. Go fuck you. Go home and play with your kids. If you want to work here, close. Wow, that's fucked up. What's another one? What you produce does not have to make money, but it does have to benefit people. Artists here. Let's try a non-money example so you don't get hung up on that. A demographic that Crack writes for is heavily on the 20-something males. So on our message boards and in many inboxes, I've read several dozen stories a year from miserable, lonely guys who insist that women won't come near them despite the fact they're just the nicest guys in the world these days. They adopted the name incels. I can't explain what's wrong with this mindset. But it would probably be better if I let Alec Baldwin explain, and he plays the clip again. Three, you hate yourself because you don't do anything. Damn. So you're saying that I should pick up a book on how to get girls? No. If only step one is the book, start making yourself into the type of persons girls want to be around. God damn, this article is spitting. We're gonna have to read this article one time on stream. What's another one? What you are inside only matters because of what it makes you do. Damn. Everything inside you will fight improvement. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to read this article. I'm gonna have to read this article. But let's go. Let's go back to the video.
Reread that every year because I need to remind myself of it as well. You know, motivation is just like food. You need to get it every single day. Motivation is like bathing. It doesn't matter if you have it one day, you've got to have it the next day as well. Motivation is not something that you just peek at and keep.
Isn't that a Ben Franklin quote? Yeah, that is a Ben Franklin quote, or attributed to Ben Franklin. Oh. People often say motivation doesn't last. Well, neither does bathing. That's why we recommend it daily. I guess it's Zing Zallar quote. Okay. I thought it was attributed to Ben Franklin. Oh, this the house guests are like fish. They go bad after 3 days. Okay.
Motivation is just like hunger, just like sleep. It comes and it goes, and you've got to feed it. You've got to make sure you are motivated as often as you possibly can be. People think that motivated people are always motivated. No, not at all. You've got to do stuff that makes you there. So let's continue talking about nice guys and how you need more than this. Here's something that irritated me. If you are a really nice guy, like a really nice person, you treat people with a lot of respect, but you think that if you treat people nice enough, eventually they'll be attracted to you, that is not nice.
You can't put niceness tokens inside of a person and get sex in return. Yeah, exactly.
That is just hoping that your being a basic human will reward you with another human's admiration. And people don't always admire that. A lot of people do like the idea of being nice. Okay, cool. What else you bringing to the table? Because you're a nice guy, but that guy over there's a nice guy, and he plays guitar. I can't play guitar. So if someone turns up and they're like, oh, I'm really attracted to people who play guitar, they're going to go over to him. Now, what happens if I don't play guitar, that other dude does? Someone rocks up and they're like, oh, I want to find someone who plays guitar. That's what I'm attracted to specifically. But the dude that plays guitar is a bit of a dick. Are they going to say, oh, well, you know what? I really like that aspect, but I'm going to go with you instead because you're nice. No, sometimes people will go with the dickhead because they provide value in other areas of their life.
Exactly.
That is a true thing. It's a true fact. Many people get into relationships because the value of those relationships is not specifically within the being nice bit.
Exactly.
It's in the everything.
It's the swinging of the penis. I'm sorry. Okay. I had to let that go. I had to let that joke go. Well, let's go.
Else that's there. People always go, oh, you know, why do all the girls always just go and date the really fit guys? Because they value that aesthetic. Okay, well, what if the guys are dickheads? Okay, maybe they don't value that aesthetic as much as they do value the physical stuff. Oh, but I'm a nice guy. Okay, are you saying that your treatment of someone needs to completely override their personal desire for something else, even if you may see it as detrimental to them? Because
that's being a selfish asshole if you think that, no, you should want what I want you to want because I get something out of it. All right, let's go.
You believe that your treatment of someone is more important to someone else than their own personal preference. You don't want a partner, you want a slave. And that's not cool, and it's not going to last.
But I make a lot of money, and I'm cut, and and women should just like me because I'm not like Chad Marone, or I'm not like Tyrone, or I'm not like Chad. So are you trying to buy the woman? No, I'm not trying to buy a woman. Women don't chase up the money. So why should they? Because I got money, and they should like the fact that I can take care of them. Like a slave. No. Well, women shouldn't have the right to vote. All right, let's go.
Yes, in the chat, this is going to be a long clip. That is absolutely true. Yeah, my calves are pretty toned. Is that something? Yeah, please, open. Bozy, open with that all the time. Whenever you go anywhere, just open with that. Yeah. Again, it does absolutely harken back to that kind of primal thing. That's a great way of putting it, harkening back to that ancestral primal desire to feel provided for. Different people, regardless of gender, are attracted to different things. And sometimes the elements that you have, as in being a nice person, is actually not considered an attractive trait by somebody else. You might consider it a healthy trait, which I would definitely say it is, but it's not necessarily always attractive. That's why people who are a little bit more dangerous, a little bit more bad boy, can be very sexy. That's why sometimes when I see a sign that says no loitering,
I loiter.
And people walk past and go, oh my God, look at that guy. He doesn't play by the rules. Sometimes when I used to work in a warehouse, there'd be a little yellow line drawn on the floor, dividing where the forklift and the foot traffic would go. And if there were no forklifts around, you know what I'd do? I'd walk on that line. Some of you in the chat went, you'd cross the line. God, no. Not madman. All right? I'm a bad boy. I'm not insane. I'm not suicidal. I'm just a little bit dangerous. That's the difference. That's what I do. Did I also take extra napkins from the rest stops and restaurants? I don't take any napkins, all right? I live by the edge. I live on the edge all the time. I eat saucy sandwiches. And if that sauce drips on my white shirt, I live with that. That's a mistake I've made. I don't put a napkin on. When I was painting the set for the Dungeons & Dragons place, black paint, I wore a white shirt. That's the definition of bravery right there. Straight.
All right, he kind of got off on the like little tangent, but I thought this was actually pretty great. I thought this was actually pretty great, and it was actually fun to watch. And it's refreshing to start to see like the turning of the corner of this whole alpha male bullshit. And I just thought it was fun watching, and I thought I should share it with you guys. Anyway, like, share, and subscribe. Yeah, thank you guys for watching this clip. Trying to hit 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube by October 1st. Help me make that motherfucking reach. And yeah, we're gonna cut this segment right here. All right, guys. We have gotten you guys some great videos today. And yeah. I really am going to actually just make a time where we actually do that read of that video. Let me see. I do want to actually do this. If you haven't done so, I'm gonna actually give let me see if that code. Give me a moment. I'm actually about to put in a here, I'm gonna put this in the chat. We normally have a Sunday hangout at about 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I'm just gonna put that out there. If you haven't done so already, just join the Discord. This is where we come once a week and have fun, talk about shit, and well, just shoot the shit. I'm gonna be starting in about an hour. If you just want to come and talk, it's gonna be our Sunday hangouts, which we do every Sunday. Let's have some fun. Other than that, guys, remember, touch titties, always with permission. Be the person that you want to be around, and not just who you want to just be like. And well, take us away, Richard.
What do you think that these executives are afraid you're going to do to white America?
Probably stop some racism.
Stop racism?
Yeah, I'm probably afraid of that, because then people don't hate each other, and people start talking to each other, and then they start talking to each other, they find out who's the problem.
Which is?
Greedy people.
Greedy people. I have a couple things I want to ask you there. Do you really think that some of the guys that you dealt with at NBC, no names, right? Because there's lawsuits for that too, that some of these guys really want to promote racism actively, or is it a subconscious?
I just think it's part of capitalism, is to promote racism, you know, right? In order to make things work. If you feel better because you're white and you can get a job, you use that. I mean, you know, I would.
Absolutely.
Say, I'm sorry, Jack, but shit, they say I'm white. I'm going to use this.
Right, absolutely.
Get this job. I'm hungry, you know. But, and that separates people. So they keep people separated, and that keeps them from thinking about the real problem. That's as simple as I see it. Probably it's not that simple, but...
Now, all right, you and I are about the same age, right? We're in our mid-30s. How long is it going to take before guys who think like you, and I say guys who think like me, people who don't want to have racism in the country, people who don't want to be oppressing any minority, whatever it is, sexual, whatever minority, really get into positions of power and can change things?
You can't get in a position of
What do